Some people that I work with, they say that personal branding is also called impression management, or that personal branding is about the mark that you create for yourself, or that it is a life insurance. So for me, personal branding is a communications and self-marketing tool. And since Paul Václavic, an Austrian-American author and communication theorist, we know that one cannot not communicate. Every sort of behavior is communication. Now, coming from that point, I would argue you cannot not be a personal brand. You are one. And it's totally up to you if you turn it into an average or a good one. And where do we make money? On the job market. Have you ever reflected on how we call that place? We call it job market. And what do we do in markets? We barter, we exchange products and services. Okay, interesting. Cool. So when we do that, what does that say about us? What does that say about our knowledge and our skills and expertise? I think that in the end, our knowledge and expertise are also services and products that we need to barter, that we need to market. And in a very hectic and busy job market, we need to stand out so that people work with us, that people choose us, that we get that job or that position. And the best way to be chosen is to know what you stand for, to have a brand promise that people identify with, that they choose you over and over again, and that's exactly what we want for your personal brand. It's the fact that people Google us. It doesn't matter if you go for a job interview or for a date, the likeliness that people will take your name, type it into the Google search box and hit the enter button is very high. And we have a problem in two cases. Case A, people find horrible, unflattering material about us, which could be pictures of us semi-drunk and naked at a pool party. But it could also be people do not find anything about us. I mean, hey, that's a little bit weird, that's fishy, because in the end we live in 2018. Who are you? A psychopath? A serial killer? A weirdo? So with the right personal branding strategy, you will be able to avoid both of the just described scenarios. You will know which information you need to share with the world that are aligned with your brand, that you want to circulate in the World Wide Web so you reach your targets. And once you understand how social media really works, you will never ever share anything that could damage your reputation. I mean, we all need to go out there, especially in a day and age which is super busy and hectic. So why don't you go to networking events? Why don't you polish your LinkedIn profile or create a webpage? We've heard today, it's super easy to do. I'll share a few further examples with you in a second, but let me share with you first how getting my personal brand out there works for me. So what I do not do is, I do not do any annoying cold calls, and I do not spam people with emails, and I also do not spend a lot of money on online advertising. What I do instead is, I give my best to post value-adding content on a daily basis and share my knowledge, my expertise, my insecurities, my failures. When I don't know something, I ask, and I get feedback from those who have been there before. And because of that, people find me. My potential clients approach me and we do business with each other. Up to 90% of the people that I work with found me through LinkedIn, and the rest comes from my webpage and Instagram. How do I get my personal brand to the next level into 4 different categories? I would choose those ones. So let's cut them into 4 pieces and let's have a look at all of these aspects bit by bit. We have the inside bubble, and in there we have aspects like your values, your mission, your UVP. And as you can see, a great personal branding strategy is based on a sort of self-inventory. It is all about figuring out who you are, what you stand for, what you're great at. So whenever you hear somebody saying, personal branding is fake, that doesn't make sense, because it's based, again, on who you truly are and what you stand for. And if you say that this is actually quite challenging and I don't know where to start, then do not shy away from working with a career or with a life coach, with a mentor. I regularly do that because these people are catalysts who can get you to the next level. And what is also important is that some of these things might change over time as you change over time, which is wonderful. It just shows that you have evolved to the next level. The second area is the outside bubble. So here we have things like the outer appearance, your trademark, your logo, and your public speaking skills. Joining an association or organization like Toastmasters International could be a fantastic idea to improve your public speaking skills. Working with a color consultant is fun. And a graphic designer could round things up in the form of some branding guidelines. I didn't fall from heaven like this. 3 years ago, I was not able to speak in full sentences. Trust me, there were a lot of arms, I was blushing, I was sweating, I hated it. Especially as a German, we're not funny. Then, I didn't know how to dress or what to dress accordingly to my body type. I had to learn that from a stylist. And, you know, a graphic designer helped me also later on to be more recognizable. So people would also know when they see me visually, online and offline, who I am and what I do. Good, then we have the offline area, in which we have things like public relations, social networks, awards, and all of these things. So why don't you expand your social network? Why don't you sit down and ask yourself, how would my dream network look like? Who would be part of it? Get these people into your life who can then elevate you and your knowledge to the next level. A little bit of pro bono work is always awesome. And if you're doing a great job, then public relations will also help you getting to the next level. Now, I'm fully aware that ticking off these boxes will require a little bit of more time and the ability to play the long-term game from you. But you need to tick off these boxes to prove your authority or expert status. So once you have these things, you show that you do not only talk, but you walk the talk. Through these, you show that you're the celebrity or the VIP in your niche. And that's exactly what we need in the end for your personal brand. Okay, and in the online world, we have things like your podcast, your online reputation, your online community, your social media channels. And many people that I work with, many executives that I coach, their first reaction is like, oh, which is okay. I mean, there's so many fascinating content creators out there. Why don't you delegate that work to them? Or if you say, I actually think it's learnable, which it is, then join a course, an online course, or buy a book. I mean, you can really get there. And if you say that you're looking for a coach who will take you by the hand and guide you through the whole process, absolutely possible as well. I know somebody, so do not hesitate to ask. Personal branding is a fascinating, great concept for students to transition faster and smoother into the job market. Personal branding is also very interesting as a tool for executives who are at a certain level of their career and who want to go one level higher without writing CVs. And believe it or not, personal branding is also very powerful for singles who are looking for a sustainable long-term relationship. But hey, let's stop here, because I do not want to create the impression that I share dating advice. I don't. I'm not the expert on dating. So whenever you hear people say things like, personal branding is fake, or personal branding is just something for celebrities, or personal branding is just something for extroverts, these people unfortunately did not understand the depth and the wholeness of the concept. As always, terms and conditions apply if done correctly. In the end, personal branding is a journey. It is like a sprint on a marathon track, but it's absolutely worth it. Because in the societies that we have created, we need to create our own little stage or pedestal on which we then step and talk to those who are willing to listen. We communicate, and through that we create opportunities. We create opportunities to make this world a better place, to make more money, and to live a better life. In the end, personal branding is an essential prerequisite to design an independent, great lifestyle and a career of purpose